The Tampa Bay Junior All-Stars, the Attack Pack. They skate across the bay from each other 28 miles apart. But they've traveled 1,941 miles to compete with the fellow elite of roller derby, only to face each other in the end. Both have won their first games, lost their second, then fought back more successfully in the lower bracket than the others. Which team will travel back to the Sunshine State with fifth place in the nation? Let's find out. Stand by here with Tool Time.
Good afternoon. How are we doing today? Stand by.
Great. Ready to go.
Some excellent derby over on track 2 with the female division. I've had the pleasure of announcing that. Later today, I'll be doing the championship game with Hot Sauce. Right. And it's going to be Galaxy from Seattle versus Santa Cruz, the Groms.
All right, and I'll be here for the championship game scheduled with Hammer Time. Hammer Time currently actually has a Jammer Star already on for Tampa, so I'll be here with that. Hopefully we don't cause a ratings battle in Florida. They've kept us apart all weekend, and now together for this Battle of the Bay right here. And Al B, of course, who just photobombed us, is on the house. 41 seconds to go. And I hope, yes, there we go. I was hoping, we got the captains and coaches meeting. I was hoping the C. Rojo, there was a big, unveiling of their bout fit. Rojo now. Lauren Kill, you'll see her before long, but they are ready for ready for battle. That's the final game between the two, Tampa versus St. Pete.
And definitely be sure to let us know how we're doing here at JRDA_rocks. We'll be reading off the Twitter feed at #TalkToJRDA. I know we got a lot of fans in Florida for both of these teams, since it's not so much a state rivalry, more a sibling rivalry.
Absolutely.
So let us show us some love for both Tampa and Attack Pack. Also, me and Standby, we're from Jacksonville ourselves, so if we have any Jacksonville people wanting to show us some love, be sure to do that on our Twitter account. And we're just about to get started. Looking at the track, we already have a hug-off going on between Attack Pack and Tampa.
That's great.
Great sportsmanship. That was between Ari and Sugar and Spice, who I had the pleasure of announcing with on the stream yesterday. First time on the mic, I believe, and she was putting me to shame.
She's awesome.
She is really great, and it's been great to have these juniors announcing with us on the stream. Just because we know the game, we know the sports, we know the angles, we know the rules. But what we don't know is, what is it like to skate on these courts? What's it like from the skater's perspective? And that's given us a lot of insight here at the 2017 Junior Roller Derby Championships here in Loveland, Colorado.
Now, don't sell your MRDA career short, Tool Time.
Listen. Yes, I did skate with the Magic City Misfits for a few years, and I had a blast doing it. So I do understand what it's like to have a polished concrete floor, but after a couple years, you kind of lose it.
Right.
And not to mention, the kids are far more entertaining than I am. And we're off, ready to go. And Tampa doing some work on the inside.
There we go, just in time, drawn back. So foremost jammer is T-Rex for the Attack Pack. And T-Rex sent out and down. Just in time now, finds an opening on the outside and takes lead jam for Tampa.
T-Rex finds a hole on the same outside turn 1. Gets held up by Sugar and Spice, and Tampa's blockers finds a way through the initial pass. Just in time, gets in, gets his points, calls it. That's 4 points.
Tampa strikes first. Tampa entering as the number 7 seed, Attack Pack as the number 8 seed. Tampa All-Stars in the black with flamingo pink trim. The Attack Pack in the white with the purple trim. on this track now, Tool Time, as you've no doubt figured out by now, we don't know who the jammers are until they either pop up on the screen or like Road Rage, or until they reach turn 1. But we do know that is Road Rage, practically between two blockers, then sent out and back.
Oh,
and that is
Tampa.
hammer time.
Tampa bringing back Road Rage almost to the jammer line. Hammer Time finds a hole on the outside, but gets taken out and brought back behind turn 1.
No lead jam. There we go. Lead jam for Road Rage, winning for that designation.
Hammer Time is through the initial pass. Road Rage back in the pack, gets in, gets the points, calls it, 4 points, attack pack.
Immediately calling it off, and this is exactly how I expected, 4-4. This is going to be a back and forth game. Do not be surprised how many times the lead changes.
Absolutely. These teams, although they do live a short distance from each other, are by no means gentle when it comes to competing against each other. Multiple tournaments you and I have been to, we've seen them come up against each other time and time again.
Somehow it happens, even as much as they were separated at this one, as Purple Warrior jams with the attack pack, but it is Tampa, I believe. Yes, Evan Ponza with lead jam.
Purple Warrior still trying to make way through. Spice taking her to the inside, and it looks like we have a toe stop down.
Ponza through with 5 points, and yes, indeed, that toe stop has been recovered by an official. Somebody hopefully will not be surprised by that.
I think Purple Warrior's already been surprised. When Tampa put together a 4-person wall trying to push the wall, but without toe stops, it ain't going to happen. Especially with the floor this slick, the toe stops are essential.
Good catch. I was wondering whose toe stop it was, and now she's looking for it. I can... yeah, there we go. There we go. She got it. So, Tampa, 13, attack pack 4, 9 points on that one.
We got just getting started, under 27 minutes left in the half. And speaking of toe stops, thank goodness All About Derby had a shop set up here, because the first day we saw a lot of sliding around, a lot just because of the floors. Yesterday, new wheels as far as the eye could see.
Jammer race with Justin Time in the lead and Olivia Glisson following about a half-lap pace. And Justin Time would be wise to call off the jam, and does so. What's the call? 4 points to 0.
And that's something, like you said, I think we're going to see a lot of. We did get a good jam on that last one, but I think a lot of it is just going to be single-digit jams throughout. Now, in the event of an All About Derby power jam, that could change. But both teams with strong walls and even stronger jammers.
In fact, toe stops are such an important part of the game now that Bont now has a toe stop. They call it a toe go, not a toe stop.
And it looks like we have Hammer Time out there for Tampa. And that's Road Rage for attack pack. Both teams strong 4-person walls.
Keep it clean and keep all the blockers out if possible. But it is a
All About Derby power jam for attack pack. Hammer Time at the penalty box, and Road Rage gets your lead jam. All right, attack pack forms at the back, starts breaking it up.
Good offense there by 22. That is Barracuda Jr.
It looks like we have Doken for attack pack doing some work holding someone back. That's number 113, Nesquik for Tampa. Powers through. Road Rage tries to find a hole on the inside.
And through, finally on that pass.
And Sugar and Spice for Tampa going to the penalty box. Road Rage still enjoying an All About Derby power jam, but Hammer Time is standing. And we have yet another equipment malfunction on the track. Road Rage losing a knee pad. but putting 5 points on the board. Tampa sending another blocker to the penalty box with just 30 seconds left in this jam.
That actually, I believe, was a misconduct call, not a low block call as I originally saw, because that definitely was 1 minute spent in the penalty box and back. Track cut that time on the Tampa Jammer, who takes a shot to the head playfully by Sugar and Spice, who is now returning to play.
I take back what I said. We are in a double-digit jam. Road Rage with 19 points over for Attack Pack. And they will call it, and they're going to enjoy a power jam at the beginning of this one. Tampa down, 1 blocker, and Hammer Time sitting in the box.
22 points officially for the Attack Pack on that one, 26-17, the Attack Pack lead. Now, speaking of these boys, as you've seen, the JRDA Championship will be in Cardiff, Wales, October 13th and 14th. And more importantly, Saturday the 14th will be a Junior Male Expo again, Saturday, October 14th in Cardiff, Wales. Looking for coaches and skaters to apply. Games at juniorrollerderby.org. Games at juniorrollerderby.org. And it is Purple Warrior with lead jam on this power start.
Again, we want to remind all of our Florida family members and team members that we are still reading off tweets from at JRDA_rocks, and the hashtag is Talk2JRDA. That's the number 2. Let these players know you're supporting them. And Purple Warrior calls it, puts 5 on the board, and it looks like another 2. That's a 7-point jam for Attack Pack, who has now taken a lead. But as we said, that can change quickly, Tommy.
We will start the next jam with Evan Ponza for Tampa. So both jammers on the line this time. The Battle of the Bay right here for 5th place. 5th place of the Open Division of the Junior Roller Derby Association 2017 Championship.
All right, and Tampa is down 2 blockers. And that looks like Glisson.
Olivia Glisson left with 2, and Ponza through. No pass, no penalty. Lead jam is still open.
And Glisson still powering through, even though Tampa's with just 2 blockers, still making her work for it. She calls it off.
Immediately calls it off 0-0.
Excellent strategy by Glisson. Attack Pack maintaining their lead. Tampa down still 2 blockers, but both blockers are standing in the penalty box.
Olivia Glisson has come a long way in her derby career. First couple of years did not jam at all. Now an all-star jammer in the 5th place game at the championship tournament.
All right, looks like we have Road Rage for Attack Pack with just in time with Tampa. Both trying to find a hole, but both teams putting up strong walls. This is excellent formation and recycling. And it looks like Road Rage has your lead jam.
And just in time through on the inside, about a third of a lap lead for Road Rage. You hear the multiple chants and multiple calls. Go JT. JT is Road Rage's real name. You would think Just in Time would be JT, but no. It is Road Rage's real name, and the bell also belonging to the Attack Pack contingent to our right.
All right, Tampa down 1 blocker. Excellent. We're seeing excellent recycling and formation of walls on both teams in this game. That's excellent to see, and as we said, although the Attack Pack is ahead, Purple Warrior jamming against Hammer Time, this can change. Right now, Tampa, with their players in the penalty box, are just giving away free points, and Purple Warrior is about to take full advantage of that with lead jam.
Good skate control, if you will, by both jammers, as both jammers free. Half-lap lead for Purple Warrior with an opening on the inside. It is taken. And the call off 3 points.
And we have a timeout being called by Tampa.
Attack Pack up 38-17 with 19.5 minutes to go in the first half. the heated 5th place game in the open division for the Junior Roller Derby Association Championship Tournament. Soon we will have the 3rd place game and then the big one. We have 2 teams who have never won the big one before, and they are in the 1st place game. Who is your pick between the Diamond City Miners of Bakersfield, California, and pretty much the hometown geographical favorite, it's up there on the, show me the board. Anyway, you know. Thank you. The FOCO Spartans, FOCO Spartans of Fort Collins, Colorado. They are both in the championship game. Somebody will leave after earning that JRDA championship for the first time.
All right, and just to remind you, there is another tournament taking place in Copenhagen. We'll be talking about that after this jam. Right now, Attack Pack with a significant lead for 2 teams such as this. 38 points, Olivia Glisson jamming, Evan Ponson for Tampa.
Ponza with lead and Glisson on the inside, also through.
Evan with the lead jam. Tampa is going to need to put some points on the board. A very fast pack on both sides. Glisson still trying to catch up, and Evan will get the points, call it 4 for Tampa.
21-38.
As I was saying, there is a tournament taking place in Copenhagen. It's going to be an international junior roller derby tournament. That's taking place August 11th and 12th. We'll have over 145 junior skaters playing, and there will be teams from the U.S., Belgium, France, Sweden, England, Scotland, Germany, and Denmark. And for those of us who can't make it to Copenhagen, they will be streaming this event free for all of us across the Atlantic.
So go to catrollerderby.com for more information on that. Again, catrollerderby.com as Road Rage jams against Just in Time with lead jam. Road Rage through, but some recycling there and able to get through. 3/4 lap lead has Just in Time and scores and calls it off.
That looks like 4 points for Tampa on that one. Tampa starting to bridge the gap between the two. They've gotten the lead jam the last couple of times, which has been paying off for them.
Tampa, the number 7 seed with the stronger 2017 competitive season record. They went 6-0 this season with wins over the Duval All-Stars, the Sirens of Savannah, FOCO, yes, 232-162. They defeated the FOCO Spartans in Jacksonville. They also defeated the Darlings of Destruction, the California Mayhem, and the Little Adelaide Rollers from Australia as Hammer Time earns lead jam for Tampa.
Purple Warrior still trying to find a hole, finds one on the inside. Hammer Time with a nice apex jump. Gets in, gets the points, and calls it.
Tampa contingent comes alive. We have a split crowd here for the 5th place game, the Battle of the Bay, right here on track 1.
And I was talking to some of the parents with Attack Pack and Tampa outside earlier. It's really difficult when you have a crowd like this because, as I said, it's more a sibling rivalry. We work with each other all the time. We take care of each other. We play each other almost every month. So it's really hard when people that you've known for years, your team's winning, but the other one isn't. So it's really hard to get behind one or the other since you're basically going against both sides of the same coin.
Hooray Derby! Evan Ponza with the lead for Tampa.
Glisson still trying to make something happen. Tampa shutting off any hole she's finding in the walls on the track.
And great one-on-one defense by by Hot Wheels. There are competing number 9s, but Hot Wheels with good defense on Glisson right when it counted earlier. Also complicated in the pack.
And Tampa puts 5 on the board. Glisson still not through the initial pass, so he's going to keep going to score up as many points. He could very well make this a tie game or get the lead for Tampa.
Tinkerbomb also blocking as Sugar and Spice sent to the penalty box. Olivia Glisson with the star stash and then placing the star back on her head.
And Ponza back in the pack, gonna call it. And Ponza gets Tampa the lead.
Lead change, use the hashtag #Talk2JRDA. Let us know who you're cheering for here and any shout-outs you may have. Again, hashtag #Talk2JRDA. And the watch party. If you are having a watch party, especially you Florida fans, I know you are right now. We have a watch party contest still going on Facebook and Twitter. You want to use the hashtag on that, JRDA Watch Party. Again, JRDA Watch Party. Fabulous swag to be had for a lucky party.
All right, and we have Just in Time for Tampa going up against Road Rage. It looks like Just in Time finds a hole on the inside just before the pivot line, gets your lead jam, and Road Rage hot on the heels.
Seems like Road Rage not quite as sure on the feet as is Just in Time at this point in time, and the blockers race ahead. We have Old School Derby here as the blockers and the jammers are at about the same pace. 1:30 to go in the jam. Another blocker joining for the attack pack. This time the attack pack slow down. There's a jump.
Oh.
Misconduct call. Connection was made in the air. So a power jam for Road Rage, who has already scored.
As one of my new cohorts, Catman, says every time you do an apex jump, you're rolling the dice. Sometimes it pays off big. Sometimes it could nip you in the high knee. And Road Rage is taking full advantage of this, putting 10 on the board and putting the attack pack back in the lead.
52 seconds to go in the jam. Pile up in the straightaway, and Road Rage recovers. Set upon by all four Tampa Jammers, one for the attack pack. Attack pack not playing offense quite as much as you would think. Just in Time now returning to play. Road Rage through 5 points.
And Just in Time has a chance to put some points up on the board, too, as we will be going the remaining 30 seconds of this jam. Puts 4 on the board for Tampa.
15-4 thus far, and another 4 for Road Rage.
All right, both teams with their 4-person wall off of turn 2. Just in Time dances his way through, gets in another 4 points.
3, 2, 1. And that's the jam. Awesome jam. Points for everybody. 4 more points on that last pass. 23-8 in favor of the attack pack. 61-49. Still a 12-point game with 13 minutes to go. Want to say hello to Vitamin Bean, who has joined us on the feed for the weekend. Thank you for listening and watching from Jacksonville. Jacksonville Junior Roller Derby currently rebuilding and will be joining the female division. Hope to see them in a future tournament as Purple Warrior jams again against Hammer Time for Tampa.
So far, both teams doing really well, but I'm noticing Tampa is spending a lot of time in the penalty box, which fortunately a lot of their blockers work really well. As long as they have one person with them, they can form a wall and make it work. But those are just free points for jammers like Purple Warrior, who are so talented at getting through the walls.
We'll check the penalty board at halftime. We don't have the usual whiteboard in the middle that we in the South are used to. But a spin and Hammer Time through. One more blocker. I see the attack pack has recycled up, but a crash, and it is Sugar and Spice with defense as well.
And it looks like Sugar and Spice is going to the penalty box. Some excellent work by Ari with the attack pack off of turn 1, holding up Hammer Time.
Pace says we raise them and train them good in Florida. Absolutely.
And who says this?
Pace.
All right.
Not from New York City. Olivia Glisson for the attack pack. Evan Ponza for Tampa.
Glisson getting binked around all over the place. Finds a way through. Gets the lead jam. Tampa not letting her off that easy.
Last second defense there by Haley Dubinsky. Haley up front again, the veteran. One-on-one with Olivia Glisson while she can. And through for 5, I believe that is. Ghost blocker on the referee on the outside.
Listen, definitely taking advantage of this All About Derby power jam, but Panza is up and back in the pack.
Coach Rojo Grande believes she saw a skate out of bounds in turn 1. We will find out if there's an official review as Panza muscles through, and
that's a cut track on Panza. That's going to keep this an all-about derby power jam for Glisson.
Man, oh man, and 51 seconds to go in the jam.
Attack Pack still working away at that lead. Glisson already with 10 points on the bar, 5 more added to it. About to break the century mark with just about 10 minutes left in this half.
33 seconds to go, engaging once again. Panza is standing.
And it looks like Attack Pack is trapped Sugar and Spice off of turn 3.
Evan Panza will be approaching in about 2 seconds.
And boom goes the dynamite.
12 seconds to go. Track cut. Track cut again.
That's going to make this an all-about derby power jam again for Attack Pack.
19 unanswered points for the Attack Pack, 85-49. 9.5 minutes to go in the half. The Attack Pack, 101, Ari Cantrell, 108, Childs, 120, Evil Apple, 123, Purple Warrior, 17, T-Rex, 20 is Scully, 206, Road Rage, 212, Capozzi, 222, Barracuda Jr., 24, Solar Flare, hello, 413, Slit Your Throat, 62, Olivia Glisson, 206, Road Rage once again, lead jam, 83, Break Some Bones, and number 9 is Punky Bruise Her.
So nice on the inside line, finds a way on the inside, gets 4 more on the board.
Panza standing.
Road Rage could break the century mark on this jam. We'll see what Panza has to say about that now that he's back in play.
3-on-1 ready.
Ari in the penalty box for tap. And we have a forearm called.
Forearm called on 212 for the Attack Pack. Posey. 101, Ariana Cantrell back in the game right at the end of the jam.
That's another 5 points for Attack Pack, 95-49, just over 8 minutes left in this half.
Your Tampa Bay Junior Roller Derby All-Stars in black with pink trim. 100 Matt is on, 112 Tinkerbomb, 113 Nesquik, 1217 Frico Suave, 21 is Hammer Time, 23 Complicated, 25 Just in Time, 4 Anya Last Nerve, number 6 Evan Panza, 66 Sugar and Spice, 7 Haley Davinsky, 8 is Bramlett, 88 is Brightmere, 888 is Peaches and Screams, and boy, Max Power would love that. Number 9 Hot Wheels at $9.99 Honey Badger, and we do care to pronounce everybody correctly.
All right, just in time against a strong 3-person wall for Attack Pack. Excellent last line of defense. And he has the lead jam.
Both jammers free now. Should have time to score on this pass. Down and calls it. And so, Tampa, 4 more points, still trailing 95-53. 6.5 minutes to go when we pick up again.
Definitely great derby by both teams out there today. As you said earlier, these teams this isn't the first time we've seen them against each other.
Not at all.
In fact, this isn't the first time they've been seen at a championship at JRDA. 2016, Tampa took 6th. And in 2016, the Attack Pack took 4th and also took 2nd in the 2015 championship. So no one is new here. But they are new to this venue, which has been an amazing venue, and we're happy to be broadcasting to you live at the ranch. But this floor has definitely been a factor in this tournament.
206 Road Rage with the lead jam. Definitely, as far as the sibling rivalry, as Dusty Rhodes would say, it'll never be over.
At least we hope not, and we hope it never is.
21 Hammer Time takes to the air, but is blocked. Saves himself.
Evil Apple with a great block over there, taking Hammer Time back.
Sugar and Spice back in the box. Minute 4 to go.
5 points on for Road Rage now, and he will call it.
5.5 minutes on the clock now. 5 points scored. 100 for the attack pack. 53 for Tampa.
And again, we want to remind you, when at halftime, while you're getting snacks and all that fun stuff, be sure to hashtag talk to JRDA. That's talk, the number 2, JRDA. You can find us on Twitter at JRDA_rocks. And if you're having a JRDA watch party with teammates or fellow parents, or if you're just having a me party, hashtag JRDA watch party. You could win JRDA swag. And stand by, where are we at?
Wow. Evan Ponza almost had lead jam, and Ari Cantrell just pass on through. Jammers meet up, and it is Cantrell with the lead. Letting it go into the pack. Calling off the jam. Everybody scores this time. What's the call? 4-2. 4-2. 2 for Tampa, 4 for the attack pack. And that was fun.
Unbelievable hit by Ari off of turn 2, turning the Tampa Jammer into a fidget spinner. That was definitely a good hit, and as I said, these floors are making it difficult to recover. But Tampa doing a great job of it so far.
Jammers can engage each other anywhere inside that track, and I am all for it. Purple Warrior for the attack pack, just in time for Tampa.
Tampa down 1 blocker. And Sugar and Spice going to the penalty box again.
Oh, man, she's in penalty trouble, I can tell you that. Both Jammers free, but it is the attack pack with lead.
Just in time coming in.
3 points. 3 points for the attack pack. 3.5 minutes to go. Will be 3 minutes when we pick up again. As the attack pack number 8 seed with the lead over the number 7 seed Tampa Bay Junior Roller Derby All-Stars. We will check that penalty board at halftime and apprise you when we come back of who is in penalty trouble, because there have been a number of blocker penalties. As far as jammer penalties go, fairly clean except for the
Hammer Time has had some
except
issues.
Except for that. Olivia Glisson with lead.
And it looks like Evan Pons is still trying to find a hole in the wall. Some excellent last line of defense blocking.
Half-lap lead has Glisson as she approaches the pack.
All right,
one up front.
Both teams are at full strength with blockers, and Glisson will call it. 2.5 minutes left in this half. Still anyone's game. We won't know for sure until the end of the game. Also, halftime the game significantly changes at halftime. What do you think? Stand by.
Oh, yeah, we are 32 minutes plus from ending the game, so still anybody's game. This lead can be taken back with a couple of power jams. Do not write off Tampa at all.
And it looks like a new jammer's in the fray. Anya Last Nerve jamming for Tampa. And it looks like Road Rage finds a hole on the outside, gets your lead jam for tap.
On Your Last Nerve was an effective jammer in the last Tampa game, so we'll see what happens this time. Down on the outside. And Road Rage on the inside, having it out with the pivot and drawn back. Good defense there again by number 7, Haley Dubinsky.
And number 23, Complicated.
Right you are, Tool Time. And Road Rage through for 5.
And it looks like Slydia Throat is taking back the jammer a couple of times. On Your Last Nerve. I haven't seen her make the initial pass yet until just now.
And Road Rage calls it and goes ahead and spins out, reaching the bench. A minute to go. We'll have at least one more jam at Talk hashtag talk to JRDA. Kelly Murphy says, "Hi, Derby Dad, it's Mad Dog." Yes, Mad Dog Kelly Murphy from Jacksonville Junior Roller Derby saying hello.
I love you too, Murph. All right,
move ahead.
Both teams at full strength. Hammer time for Tampa. As I said earlier, Hammer time's been having a little difficulty staying out of the penalty box. Purple Warrior finds a hole on the inside, gets her lead jam for tap. Hammer time still dancing around and gets through the initial pass.
Hammer time's wheels have not had as much a workout this weekend as have his toe stops.
Agreed. And with the level of games that we're getting into now, it's going to be a lot of strong 3- and 4-person walls. And right now is when toe stops come into play. Since you won't let me forget my time with MRDA, with floors like this, toe stops are essential just because you have to push so hard to get the walls to move forward, to get anything to happen. Bubblegum toe stops were my personal favorite, but also wheels are going to be very important on here, and I'm pretty sure I would be surprised if anyone had a wheel over 90.
I would agree. We have there we go, officially halftime. We have a 10-minute halftime, so don't go too far. This is the Battle of the Bay, Tampa versus St. Pete. All Florida announce crew, all Florida on the track, and Al B exciting the crowd as always and keeping them engaged. We have all the Florida Derby fans right here, everybody who's anybody, and the rest of you, of course, continue to join us on WFTDA.TV. Welcome back to WFTDA.TV coverage of the Junior Roller Derby Association Championship Tournament here in the 5th place game, the Battle of the Bay, Tampa versus St. Pete. The attack pack over Tampa Bay, 124.55. Stand by here along with my very close, dear, personal, longtime friend, Tool Time. And for all of the watch parties in Florida, we're not done yet. Just chill.
It's been taken care of.
That said, Tool Time, you took a look at the penalty board. What's the count?
Well, it's not looking good for Tampa right now with a total of 23 penalties. And as you said earlier, Sugar and Spice in danger with 5 penalties at the half. Hammer time with 4 at the half. Everyone else is staying pretty good. Dubensky's at 3, but everyone else, considering the level of play at the half, isn't looking too bad. Attack back, however, not only is leading, but you see why when they have a total of 8 penalties total. No one has over 3 penalties throughout the entire team. And as I said, with people going into the penalty box and with as many power gems as we've had with Hammer Time going to the box, those 3 points are definitely starting to add up.
Right you are, 23 penalties to 8 as the attack pack lead, but also have played a cleaner game as far as penalties go. The prize here is 5th place as both teams won their first game, lost their second, and then continue to win to build up, thank you attack pack, to reach this point, the highest point possible for a team that has lost a game. So 5th place on the line with the attack pack and Tampa Bay. And
yeah,
go ahead.
That's Piggy.
You
Piggy, of course, can't help.
You know.
Oh, that of course is Ari, one of our fellow Florida skaters, who is colorful to say the least.
Olivia Glisson was photobombing since birth. I actually noticed on a I'm friends with her mother, Jim Glisson, on Facebook, and she posted a picture of her sitting at her desk, and behind her was a baby picture of Olivia with her mouth like that. She was photobombing. She wasn't even there, and she was photobombing, and she's been doing it ever since. If you watch any old JRDA footage from when I was videographer, it's nothing new.
It's new for some of those listening out there on WFTDA.TV. Why don't you tell us about that? Is roller derby still on WJCT?
Actually, WJCT did do a feature on Jacksonville Roller Derby once, but WCWJ CW17 recently changing hands to Graham Media, and the Jacksonville Roller Derby telecast weekly on Sunday nights will be coming to an end soon, currently in reruns, and actually the finale will be an encore of the 2015 JRDA Regional Tournament, actually. With Jacksonville Junior Roller Derby. But it was a great 7 seasons, the only broadcast television show of roller derby in the entire nation, regularly scheduled during that time. So heck of a run, and I'm honored to continue in this sport and continue as an announcer. Now occasionally in front of the camera, which I'm still getting used to, but as far as still being a voice of roller derby and still telling people about the greatest sport in the world, yeah, that's not ending anytime soon.
Well, speaking of those 7 years that you did TV for Derby all over Florida and anywhere they would have you, I am proud to say that this, at the 2017 Junior Championships in Loveland, Colorado, is the most time I've had in front of camera. And Lord knows, for those 7 years, my good longtime friend, you tried.
I did.
So hard.
I did. I got about 30 seconds total of you, and here we go.
All right, back in it. Evan Ponza jamming for Tampa, going up against Road Rage. Ponza powers through and gets your lead jam.
Wow, Road Rage also able to recover and turning it into a race and actually gaining just a bit maybe, but might be about time to call it off.
Still having a little trouble with crossovers, it seems. And that is a 1-point jam for Tampa. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to change from the first half to the second half. Definitely going to have to be careful with one of their top blockers, Sugar and Spice, who's sitting at 5 penalties at the start of the half. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. And it looks like we have Hammer Time going up against Purple Warrior at the start.
So Purple Warrior booty blocked in the 3-on-1. Actually, identical defense happening. This time, Purple Warrior pushing a little harder. And it is the pivot for Tampa being sent to the box, and Purple Warrior with lead. And Hammer Time left with 2 up front. Jumps, and did he make it? Yes.
He did. And then that happened.
Sometimes you have to wait on that call to make 100% sure, but it did. 4 points for the attack pack.
Well, our officials here this weekend have been great, keeping everything safe, calling out penalties on skates and off. We've got everything we need. Have you ever had such a spread out? Not only do we have fact sheets going back to 2015, because unlike you, I can't remember these things. We have details on all the teams that are here. We've got rosters and everything we could possibly need.
Wow, and lead jam for just in time. As far as my memory, you were confusing me with Vince Hannity. Olivia Glisson through as well.
No, you and Vince Hannity are twins separated at birth. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast, and you can remember who Tampa played in April of 2014.
Well, the lead jammer calls off the jam, and 3 points for Tampa.
For those of you listening, I did plant that little tidbit of April 2014 on Tampa just to see if Tommy remembers it. See if that comes to fruition later on in the program. Current score, 128 attack pack to Tampa's 59. Just over 27 minutes left in the game. And attack pack, if they keep up the strong defense and if Tampa keeps up with the penalties, there may not be much of a change in the final score, but I've been wrong before and happy to be so.
Well, Road Rage with lead, but both jammers free. Letting it go, not in any rush to call it off. Good clock management. Yes, calling it as approaching the pack. So points will be scored. 4 points. Wow, okay, 4 points scored by the attack pack. I was talking with Coach Bill of the Attack Pack before we all arrived here and touched down in Denver. He's pointed out his team has improved a lot during the season. Only had 11 skaters at the beginning of the season since they lost about 8 last year, but they've since built up, and every team for them looks to be a challenge and will be each time their greatest challenge. So going one game at a time here is the Attack Pack, as Hammer Time for Tampa, currently the foremost jammer, between 17 and 212. Some great defense there while it lasted. And a jammer race it is.
Purple Warrior and Hammer Time. Hammer Time gets the lead. Both jammers trying to figure out what strategy they're going to use. Hammer Time tries to break through. And he's going to keep it going.
Hammer Time looked for a moment like he was going to touch his hips. A lot better of it in that turn. And it is 123, Purple Warrior through.
And it looks like we have Childs at the penalty box for Attack Pack. And that looks like 2 on the board for Hammer Time. We have a timeout being called, it sounds. No, an official review.
So as soon as we know about the official review, we will bring it to you. Over here on this track, either the referee will come over and talk to us directly, or we'll grab the microphone and I'll just crank it up from here. But we'll make sure you know as soon as we know what that official review is about.
Well, while we have the moment, you were talking about Attack Pack having fewer skaters. A lot of that being because some of them are just aging out. If I remember correctly, Logan aged out and went straight to the Magic City Misfits.
Right. Logan Childs did turn 18 and did graduate from the JRDA, and several others. Currently on the Attack Pack, they're about to lose a couple more in the name of Break Some Bones, T-Rex, and Barracuda Jr., who Coach Bill did bring up, and good luck as they progress in the adult ranks.
And as far as Tampa, they're going to be losing a number of players this year. Evan Ponza, Hammer Time, Bramlett, Justin Time, Sugar and Spice, and Nesquik. That's almost their entire jammer line.
But that's going to be great. I don't know as far as like their actual plans, if they're going to be staying in the Tampa Bay area, going off to college, and maybe Tallahassee might or Gainesville might be the benefactor, or rather benefit from that. But yeah, we will see. Now, if they join Tampa, holy moly, that's going to be some fun for New Jacks.
Oh yeah, Tampa New Jacks had a game earlier this year, if I remember, where in a surprise, at least to myself, Tampa ended up taking that one, didn't they?
I was not present for that, but that was the doubleheader in Tampa. They beat our B team. I believe we beat the Tampa All-Stars. Now I know we were upset not too long away from that by Atlanta. That was a shock.
That may be what I'm thinking of then. But the point being, seeing these juniors become JRDA alumnus going into the adult leagues, it's definitely going to benefit whatever teams they go to. Jacksonville ourselves have benefited from juniors aging, and we're going to the official review.
I don't know which way we're supposed to face.
Either way.
I hate them.
They got the camera
Tampa
on you.
Bay's official review was to seek a cutting call against the White Jammer from the prior jam. Because the White Jammer did not go out of bounds, there is no cut call to be made, and therefore Tampa Bay does not retain their official review.
Well, wouldn't you know who won the pony? It normally goes that way, and it's worth a round of applause from the Attack Pack. It normally goes that way, but still it's worth bringing up if you believe very, very strongly and are absolutely convinced that that's the way it should go. It's worth bringing up.
And the Pixies actually brought that up twice last night and won both reviews.
What?
In
Really?
one game.
Wow.
I wish you could have been there.
That is an all-time record that I'm sure has never happened before, at least as far as I've ever seen. Olivia Glisson through, but a full half-lap lead by Just in Time, who is through and calls it off. Well,
nope, he's going to keep going. Gets the call from his matchy coaches.
That fake out there, that
a hard hit by Glisson off of turn 2. Tampa sending a blocker to the penalty box. That's Honey Badger. Tampa still getting in trouble with these penalties.
Glisson through with 4 points, holding her hip.
She definitely has taken some abuse over the last year. A lot of hard hits, and especially here.
And 100 on the inside down. Matt is on, the veteran. What a jam. 13 points for Tampa, 7 for the attack pack, so net 6. Excuse me, 6 for the attack pack, net 7.
As much fun as it is talking with my good friend Standby here, we also want to hear what everyone else has to say. So if you go onto our Twitter account at JRDA_rocks and hashtag talk to JRDA, or if you're in the middle of a watch party, #JRDA watch party, we'll be happy to read those off as the game progresses, but definitely let us know what you think.
Evan Ponza with lead jam, but man, oh man, it was close and continues to be close. Actually, Ponza gaining a little bit of ground on, there we go, on Road Rage, but still contact at the end, not fourth whistle. So 2 points on that. No late contact.
Road Rage having a great game out there today, but he seems to be having a lot of problems with those straightaways when it comes to the crossovers. It could be a number of things. It could be the wheels that he's using or the floors, but it is slowing him down by just a margin, but that margin is enough for Tampa to take advantage.
It is perceptible, definitely perceptible. 142-80, Purple Warrior jamming against Hammer Time.
And we still have over 20 and a half minutes left in this game, 22 and a half minutes.
Purple Warrior on the outside, cut track. We saw that one right in front of us. So power jam for Tampa as soon as Hammer Time can. Whoa! Almost crashed into 2 referees there, and the attack pack contingent watching on. Hammer Time outside, and Ari Cantrell recycles back, looking for a track cut. Not going to get it this time, as lead jammer is Hammer Time.
All right, as I said earlier, Hammer Time has been in trouble with the penalty box, but has still been putting points on the board for Tampa. An amazing juke out. Gets through and puts 5 on the board for Tampa.
If you could get style points, then he'd have an extra one, but this is not whose line is it anyway. 85-142.
Definitely an enlivened crowd, courtesy of Al B, doing what he does best, keeping the crowd excited, and he is no stranger to the Tap or the Tampa crowds.
Just in time, and Purple Warrior returning to play. Just in time with lead, so controls this jam. Purple Warrior on the outside. Has about 3/4 of the lap to go. But Just in Time calls it 4 points, and an official review immediately being called by Coach Bill of the attack pack.
Let's hope that this one works out better for attack pack than it did for Tampa, who is now minus an official review. As I said earlier, the Pixies in their game yesterday did call for 2 official reviews and won both of them, which was an excellent game to watch. As far as what we're seeing here, Tampa still having problems with the penalty board, and it's definitely working to attack pack's advantage. But Tampa, as we've seen multiple times with our own eyes, is never to be counted out until the last whistle's blown.
Not at all. Only 142-89. 4 points scored on that last jam by the attack pack. There you see, you saw some of the, or by Tampa Bay rather, you see some of the attack pack contingent, some of the California Mayhem, and then as the crowd or as the camera pans over, you'll see a little more of the Tampa contingent. You see California Mayhem getting ready for the third place game. That will be soon forthcoming after this one. You see several blankets. The air conditioning works great here. And while I was on the house mic yesterday, I did ask who's cold, and people cheered, and I said, too bad, you're not skating. So great environment, floor notwithstanding, though that can be overcome, but great climate control, if you will, here in Colorado. And a beautiful day outside. Even if we did take it outdoors, that would be fun as well and totally doable.
Indeed, it's definitely a lot different than what we're used to in Florida, where you can get a full day's supply of water just by breathing deeply. Here it's nice and dry. The air is cool. I haven't had the AC on the entire week I've been in Colorado. I've just left the window open.
My Airbnb has a little too good air conditioning, but anyway, I have slept well, and notwithstanding the 5:45 a.m. sunrise.
That's true. A number of Jacksonville supporters have shown me some support. What they weren't considering was the time difference. And although Nacho Friend is always welcome as a supporter, I needs my sleep because I already look like this. So I need as much beauty sleep as I can possibly get my hands on. But again, we do appreciate all the support Standby and I have gotten from our home teams as well as Team Florida in general.
There you see the medals. They're also on Twitter. Standby Tommy on Twitter. And here's the official word.
The attack pack was looking for a back block call on their jammer for Tampa Bay. There was no back block call to be made, so the no call stands, and they do not retain their review.
Doesn't get any simpler than that. No.
Wow, 21 minutes exactly. Never seen that before. But 21 minutes left in this game. Both teams are down in official review. Let's see what attack back in Tampa have for us for the next 20 minutes.
Evan Ponza jamming against Olivia Glisson. Glisson headed to the box.
I'm shocked.
Ponza through with the lead.
Tampa trying to catch one of the attack packs to bring her back. Attack pack not making it easy for anyone.
Yeah, good defense on the inside. Outside it broke up because Tampa, of course, they're working offense, which you don't see as much offense as you used to, but always fun to see when it actually happens and a plan comes together.
Speaking of plans coming together, Glisson is back in the pack. Let's see what she's got. I don't think Tampa Jammer has realized that she's back in yet, but she did go out before the initial pass. So, therefore, there won't be a score on this one. But Tampa does get 4 on the board.
So 4 plus 5, 9. Tampa 98, attack pack 142 with 20 minutes to go.
Have we got any new shout-outs on our Twitter feed?
Not that I've seen, but Erica did point out, yes, that hashtag the future is now. Absolutely. So did Andrew pointing out 2 junior skiers announcing the female division game an hour ago, and you'll hear more of that before the day is over. Also on this track for the third place game, and Hammer Time will be joining me for the championship game. So we're changing it up a little bit, and I'm glad you're enjoying it right here at WFTDA.tv. Road Rage with Lee Jim over Hammer Time.
Ari taking Hammer Time out, but going out herself, having to recycle. Hammer Time trying to get that apex jump in, but it takes them back. Now, even when I was skating, I did do a good bit of jamming. I never really liked the apex jump. It was just too much of a wild card in my case. Now, mind you, I'm not nearly as good as Hammer Time is. At my best, I wasn't as good as he is. So he definitely has the skills to pull it off, but it is still a roll of the dice no matter who's doing it.
Apex jumps still rare enough. We see more of them in Junior Derby and high-level Junior Derby than we do in the adult game, but still rare enough to be a good strategy. Now, someday, when Jamsterella and the like go around and do seminars everywhere, all of a sudden you might find everybody just jumping up and down like Super Mario Brothers. But till then, yeah, it's effective. It's half the time for the few that do it.
Just in time for
lead
Tampa.
Jam.
Gets your lead jam. Purple Warrior through the initial pass, catching up to him quick off of turn 1. Both teams had full strength on the blockers, and Tap is all right. They're calling it, but Tap was definitely playing the speed game. And to add to what you had to say, by the time the likes of Jamsterella and a lot of the top skaters start retiring, I think Derby is going to look a lot like parkour. Just doing backflips off each other, doing all these crazy special effects. I think that's what it's going to turn into, because notice how dramatically Derby changed the moment jam skaters started getting into the mix.
Yes, that's absolutely what happened with Stephanie Gentz and Streak and a host of others from the jam skating world. It definitely changed. Just in time with lead.
Glisten still trying to make something happen on the inside. Finds a hole, gets through the initial pass. Attack Pack still with the lead, but Tampa is slowly but surely creeping up, and with just under 17 minutes left in this game, it's still anyone's game.
Ari Cantrell in the box, so that affects the Attack Pack's blocking power, and she's sitting, so more than 10 seconds to go before they return to full strength. Ashley Hurd on Twitter says, Duval loves you both, and that is a purple heart and a black heart. Duval loves you both. Thank you, Ashley, and we do.
Dibs on the black heart. It matches.
I wore monochrome today because I had a purple shirt ready to go, and I thought, no, there are too many purple teams here. I gotta change. So Evan Ponza with lead. And,
Road Rage still trying to power through. Tampa really starting to get their walls together when it comes to Tap's blockers.
Road Rage down his lower back. Took a second to recover, but back in it. Road Rage sent out again by 999 Honey Badger. And Ponza through 5 points.
And it looks like we had an attempted cover pass, but it was just a sneaky. Gets through the initial pass, but Ponza is in the pack right now. And we'll call it.
Called it off, 4 points. Called it off just in time because if there were a split second more, possibly 1 point may have been lost there as Tampa creeps ahead. 14 points on that pass, on that jam. 116-150 with 15 minutes to go. We are not done yet.
I just got a private message from one of our parents back in Jacksonville. Our new duo name is now #TNT.
Wow, okay, take it. 123 calling on a high block, however, so this will be a Tampa Power Jam. Purple Warrior high block.
Excellent recycling by Childs, bringing them back. Spice is doing some work to make a hole on the inside for Hammer Time. Gets through, it gets the lead jam, but Spice back to the penalty box.
Oh, man.
That's at least 6, and this could be her game.
4 up front with the attack pack. One Tampa blocker playing offense. 17 goes for a play, and yes, indeed, sent out and calls it off. Purple Warrior did recover. Of course, no points there. 5 points more for Tampa, or 5 total rather. 121-150 29-point game, 13 and a half minutes to go.
As I said earlier, never count out either of these teams until the very end. As you said, 13 and a half minutes left in the game, and there was a significant difference in the scores, but now that is changing quickly in Tampa's favor. Just in time, getting brought back. Glisten still going against a strong three-person wall, and Sugar and Spice is back in the mix. And we have a cut track called, and that's on Ponza. That's going to make this a power jam for Glisten. Let's see what she can do with it.
Also, number 20, Scully, called out. Yes, momentarily I lost track of Olivia Glisten. Olivia Glisten totally engulfed by the Tampa blockers on that initial pass going into turn 1. And sent out in turn 3, recovers and comes back in and is called on a track cut. Jammers will switch.
And just in time, back in, coming off of turn 2. Attack Pack now back up to full power with their blockers. Glisten still sitting in the penalty box, and we'll be going the entire 2 minutes. Only under 50 seconds left in this jam.
Pack at a stop. 3 blockers for the Attack Pack. Just in time, tiptoes and is caught.
All right, Glisten's back in play. Tampa definitely been doing it by the numbers.
Through on the inside is just in time, 5 points.
And Glisten takes off the cover, but her pivot is in there, so we only can assume that she's trying to sneak through, but Tampa is not buying it.
Not at all. 5 more for Tampa, and you hear the reaction.
And it looks like Ari has got the cover.
Ariana Cantrell, the jammer of record, but the jam is over. What a jam, what a run here for Tampa. 9 points. 20-point game with 11 minutes to go.
And I know there are some JRDA watch parties over in Tampa as well as all of Florida. Please be sure to hashtag us at JRDA_rocks, hashtag JRDA watch party, or just hashtag talk to the number 2 JRDA. Let us know how you're feeling. I got standing by to read off those tweets.
Evan Ponza, foremost jammer, and yes, lead jammer, held up 2 up front. Road Rage still in the back. Road Rage breaking through, and 2 left. 1 and crash in turn 3. Sugar and Spice in the back, recycling. Evan Ponza through with a 5-point pass, as you see. Road Rage still pushing into turn 4.
I heard
Pivot
that
down
from here.
Good grief. Ponza has scored 5 more. Road Rage still in the initial pass, has the helmet cover off, passes to, I believe that is number 17, T-Rex.
I believe you're right, sir.
Ponza says no more. Frustrated T-Rex drops the helmet cover.
And that's a 14-point jam by Tampa. And can you believe it? This is now a 6-point game.
Actually, I do believe it, seeing the past of these teams. This all-Florida Battle of the Bay on track 1 at the 2017 Junior Roller Derby Association Championship Tournament right here on WFTDA.tv. For those of us in the South, this might as well be the championship game.
It's definitely going to decide a lot that's going to happen in Florida. Florida with a great many junior roller derby teams, and within the surrounding area, a pretty tight-knit community in Florida as far as junior roller derby goes, and as well as the adult teams. In fact, California Mayhem does have one of the junior roller derby alumnus in there in the form of Artemis for California Mayhem.
Correct. So you, as the years progress and families and especially military families move about, you start seeing some familiar faces just with different uniforms. And with that, they carry their institutional knowledge and their strategic knowledge. And that's how Derby continues to grow and cross-pollinate, if you will. 9.5 minutes to go. Chance begin. 6-point game favoring the attack pack, but for how long? Hammer time against Ari Cantrell. Cantrell caught on the inside. Almost had it, but it is hammer time.
Excellent work on the inside by Hammer Time. Ari finds a hole on the outside through the initial pass. And Tap is definitely getting broken up by Tampa, trying to have the fast game. Oh!
Good defense while it counted, and borderline late hit. I believe that was Childs. It is hard to tell. Yes, it was
Childs. She's heading to the penalty. Nope. Just our imaginations.
Borderline late hit, we said, as Child.
This is why we do not wear zebra stripes.
Coach Bill off camera having a word with Childs. Don't need any more of that. Usually in the pink helmet, so it took me a second to recognize her. But starting up again, 4-point game with just in time. Your jammer for Tampa, but it is Purple Warrior lead jam for the attack pack. This one won't go long, except perhaps to draw out the clock.
Just in time, overtakes Purple Warrior, calls it.
No score, and that was indeed just in time.
I see what you did there.
I had to.
Speaking of cross-pollinating, something does ring to my mind. The Jacksonville Juniors did have a player by the name of Rudolph who went to Japan through the military and actually joined the Japanese roller derby there.
That's right. Hello to Rudolph if you're listening.
And although Japan will not be taking part in the International Junior Roller Derby tournament taking place in Copenhagen, Denmark, USA, Belgium, France, Sweden, England, Scotland, Germany, Holland, and Denmark will be taking place.
Absolutely. More information at catrollerderby.com. That will be August 11th and 12th. And a leap and a lead jam for Road Rage.
If you're watching at home and you're part of Team Florida, definitely make sure to stretch a little bit because this is going to be a tense 7 minutes.
Maybe the longest 7 minutes of the season as a call-off, and it is 0.
No, we got 3 for Attack Pack.
3 for the Attack Pack.
Attack Pack still holding on to that lead, but Tampa overcame a huge gap. And huge by meaning these two teams' skill levels. That's some hard work from the Tampa players. Just under 7 minutes left in this game.
Every point counts. Every second counts.
Every penalty counts.
Right. Hammer time with lead.
No, that is Ponza. We had a mishap there. We
go.
Apologize. Ponza's got your lead jam for Tampa Bay. And Glisson through the initial pass. Ponza powering through, and we'll call it. And I'm just going to make a prediction. I think we're going to go back to where we started with just 4 points in a jam. Probably not going over 5, and just calling it.
Get what you can. Get off the track. Start fresh. Do not allow the other team to score or even have the opportunity. Official timeout with 5:58 on the clock. 3-point game. Tampa with 4 on that last pass.
And do we have anything coming in from the Twitterverse?
Actually, Danielle from Rydell Skates. I can't even. Tampa strong. I feel you.
Everyone who's in Florida definitely is feeling it because, as I said, we are a tight-knit community who knows pretty much everyone by sight alone. But definitely let us know how you're feeling in these last 6 minutes. The only time this weekend that #TNT will be doing a stream together.
That's right.
Let us know how you feel through JRDA Hashtag JRDA watch party. Hashtag talk to JRDA.
And there's the crowd. Al B working his magic. MRDA Championships, of course, coming up October 13th and 14th in Cardiff, Wales. If you know a young male, a junior male expo will be happening in Cardiff Saturday, July 14th. They're looking for coaches and skaters to apply. Games at juniorrollerderby.org. Get in your application now. Games at juniorrollerderby.org. Lead jam for the Attack Pack Purple Warrior.
Hammer Time finds a hole on the outside, is a good distance back, but he's breaking that distance fast. Keep in mind, these kids have been playing all weekend.
Dual scoring there. What's the call?
That's 3 points Attack Pack to Tampa.
Scoreboard operator showing 2-2. I thought that was 3 also.
There we go.
There we go. The Attack Pack 156, Tampa 152. 4-point game with 5 minutes to go.
Definitely a tense game for everyone in here. Tampa and Attack Pack never travel without their entourage of super fans and parents. Just in time with a spinny on the outside. Gets your lead jam for Tampa.
Earned that one as the Tampa pivot going to the penalty box. This time, Road Rage still pushing, finds an opening on the inside just in time to not be lapped. 4-on-1, now 3-on-1. Caught on the inside, good work there by number 120, Evil Apple. And that's the jam, 2 points for Tampa.
Excellent work, but as you said, by Evil Apple off a turn 2, making the Tampa Jammer call it off. These kids, these athletes are definitely putting everything they've got into it.
Timeout by Tampa.
And now is the time for a little yoga stretch. Relieve the tension, some Tai Chi, if you will.
Some of the teams I've noticed this week have a timeout, a stretching, a loosening routine, sometimes involving a song, sometimes involving a chant. But just something to
I've
loosen
seen a lot
up.
of that. Last game I did, they started singing Smash Mouth All-Star, which an oldie but a goodie. Was definitely fun to see how the coaches get involved with their players to help them relax. As we've seen with New Jacks, they do the wiggle is, I guess, what you call it. The
Right.
Just to kind of relieve the tension, because coming in here, there's a lot on stake. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if my partner in crime, Standby, has anything to add, but coming to Loveland was terrifying. Exciting and terrifying.
Yes. Al B recruited all of us individually. He had plans. He knew where he was going to place us. He knew what we could do on the stream for WFTDA.tv, and it has, as far as I have heard and as far as my experience has been, an amazing success. Chaos Theory, come on Tampa. Boyfriend not liking how much I'm yelling at the screen.
Oh, goodness. All right, we have Glisten going up against Hansa.
High block called on, and then it's not.
No, that's Ari who's
Cantrell.
jamming.
So power jam for Tampa. 4 minutes to go.
Excellent recycling off of turn 1. That's Evil Apple at it again.
And number 8 running in for offense, Bramlett.
Break some bones, doing some work.
Bramlett now returning for defense.
And wowee, holding the jammer off that long for Cantrell to get back into the game.
Quite a penalty kill, but still lead jam Tampa. Both jammers through.
Tampa sending another blocker to the penalty box. Oh, and then that happens.
That was Honey Badger. 55 seconds to go, and yes, calling off the jam. I was wondering about how long that would go. 3 minutes, under 3 minutes, once the next jam begins, as we do have a tie score.
And Al B doing what he does best, getting the crowd off the chairs and standing up. We've got a number of people taking pictures of the scoreboard. I know there are a lot of people glued to their Facebooks right now.
Timeout attack back. And tournament head official Electroshocker also pacing around, checking the numbers. We want to make sure this is exactly correct. Hey, 2014 JRDA Regional Tournament, Duval versus Tampa in Tampa. You were on the house call. I was behind the camera. Closest, I kid you not, closest game in JRDA history. What happened there has never happened since, and hopefully will never, ever happen again.
Yes, that was a one-point jam, and that 1 point came, I believe, at the end of an official review. It was the very first tournament I had done for regionals, and unfortunately I had Al B taking me under his wing, as he's done for both of us over the last year.
Al B actually had to tell the crowd to shut up because the officials were doing math, and
I was losing my mind.
Listen to this. 2:43 to go. Tie score. Hammer Time and Olivia Glisson. Glisson down on the inside. Hammer Time still up. And Hammer Time bouncing around. Olivia Glisson, if you will, the foremost blocker. 3-on-1 up front. Pushing.
And Sugar and Spice is not having it, using great hip checks to bring it around. Both teams doing great. This is going to be intense.
Hips and legs and toe stops. Huge opening on the inside. Nobody can do anything about it right now. 9.99 returning to play. There's that inside opening, and it is Hammer Time lead jam. But Pivot races ahead. Can't do anything. Lead jam Tampa.
And you could see the smile on Hammer Time's face from here. That is a hard-fought lead jam.
Scoring pass now. Everybody in turn 3. Congregated once again. Full-on defense happening. No offense. Full-on defense. Glisson with the helmet cover off. Glisson looking to pass a star or a star stash. 2-1. And Hammer Time through. 5-point pass. Glisson with the star stash. She is through. 1:28 to go. 45 seconds in the jam. And an apex jump. And passes, and we're looking at the hips. Yes, calling off the jam. 5 points plus what?
3 points. Yes.
3 points. 164, 156, 1:10 and counting.
1 minute left on the clock for this game. Both teams down to one timeout each. It's definitely going to come down to the wire on this one, and I'm loving it. How about you, Standby?
I am too, and Chaos pointing out that moment when Tampa had a power jam and they forgot about offense. Here we go. 44 seconds on the clock. Jam can still go a full 2 minutes, and who has it? That is
Warrior.
Purple Warrior with lead jam.
Just in time, doing some work. It's through the initial pass.
Just in time through. Purple Warrior half-lap lead. The crowd on its feet. This could be it. Defense cranking up to 11. She calls off the jam after a scoring pass.
2 on the board. No, that's 3 on the board for tap. And Coach Bill will call it for the attack pack.
164, 159. 14 seconds, and who knows how many points to go.
With 14 seconds left in the game, and however long the jam goes, it's still anyone's game. As soon as we get the chance, we need to get a look at this crowd. Hardly anyone is sitting.
We've come all the way to Colorado for this.
Just to play each other again.
Which could have happened, yes.
Could have happened in Jacksonville, could have happened in Tampa, or could have happened in St. Petersburg.
But you would not have the bragging rights of the number 7 seed Tampa Bay Roller Derby and the number 8 seed Attack Pack, both improving on their seeding as we play for 5th place.
You're right, and not to mention it's been a fun trip for me coming to Colorado. This is a place I can see myself living in, but not anytime soon.
And so we have a 5-point game with 14 seconds on the clock, a full 2-minute jam to go.
Road Rage for the attack pack. It's your lead jam, Evan Panza. Jamming for Tampa, being held up.
Forearm called on the blocker for the attack pack. That will affect their defense as Evan Panza just leapfrogs over Ari Cantrell.
Road Rage gets through. This coach is telling him to go. Tampa sending a blocker to the penalty box.
0 on the clock, a minute 28 in the jam. 164.
This is
Road Rage with
definitely.
the lead.
We are losing our minds in the stand right here.
As is everybody here, as the scoring pass is complete. We'll wait on the score. We know better than to call it.
Unofficial final.
I will sit down.
164 to 167.
How are you still wearing that thing?
Because when you have an incredibly comfortable cardigan, it's like it's not even there.
That is the final 3-point game, 3-point win by the attack pack. St. Petersburg wins the Battle of the Bay over Tampa Bay Junior Roller Derby All-Stars. This, the 5th place game, and oh my Atlanta, wait till you see the 3rd place game and the championship coming up.
Oh, my Lanta, indeed. And let me add a hot diggity daffodil onto that one. Such a close game. Came down to the last jam. Road Rage. Precision personified. Definitely made that jam work for him. Got the points, called it. As announcers, we're not allowed to say what the score is. We can only say what we see. But a quick final score on that one. Attack Pack wins. They've got 5th place, and now all of Florida knows who to keep their eye on in the upcoming JRDA season.
Derby wins on this one, and thank you to Double H for the assist on the air conditioning there. In addition, I needed to sit down myself. Thank you.
I'm getting the vapors.
Thank you again for joining us. This, again, only the 5th place game. 2 more to go on the open track. You're watching the JRDA Championship Tournament, the final day on WFTDA.tv.